The journey of the administration of President Bola Tinubu is top gear, and those who will drive the policies are getting busy. The Minister of Defense, Abubakar Badaru, assured Nigerians that security challenges facing the country will be contained in the next 1 year. It demanded the timeline and requirements from military chiefs, but that will bring hostilities and end to the different parts of the country. Let's share the story from TVC News, Sifian Essien.
One after the other, the Minister of Defense and the Minister of State for Defense take to the saluting dais during the guard of honor welcoming them to the ministry. Assuming office at a time of mounting security challenges, the ministers understand the task before them are enormous.
We will do our best. We will do our best to make sure we rid the country from security challenges. All our jobs are at stake if we don't deliver.
Beyond this, reforms are ongoing to remodel the ministry after the U.S. Pentagon.
We must address the root cause of conflict, promote social cohesion, and foster economic development by investing in education, healthcare, job creation, and infrastructures.
Elsewhere, it's a similar ceremony. The Minister of Police Affairs and the Minister of State assume office.
I grew up in the civil service up to the permanent secretary level.
The emerging challenges and the evolving challenges around internal security. So I'd just like to pledge our commitment. His Excellency carefully selected who he thought would help drive this agenda for him. And I feel it's an honor for me to serve alongside His Excellency.
Just like their counterparts in the Ministry of Defense, they will have to confront security challenges head-on. Sifian Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
The government will be judged by whatever achievements that they can bring peace and stability across the country. If you want to bring economic growth, if you want to bring development, there must be the country must be secured across, north, east, west, north.
I
south.
hope all the ministers will sustain this momentum that they have started with, because like all of them are raring to go. And for the first time, CKN, I love what Matawale and Badaru told the service chiefs. See, it's no longer business as usual. You set targets for people. Say, well, after a year, we are going to review your activities. We are going to review what you have been able to do in a year. And he said he's going to be having monthly meetings with them, as well with the NSA, the Minister for Police Affairs, and the service chiefs. So we need to constantly keep them on their toes. Yes, terrorism is not something we can win 100%, but at least we should bring it down to a minimal level, or even, eradicate it. Banditry, a lot of things are happening. People can no longer go to their farms in the northern parts of the country, and in the northeast, even northwest. And that is why we are having a shortfall in food supply into the country, and even raw materials, because of banditry. In Zamfara and Kebbi, there are some local governments that pay levies to bandits before they could be allowed to farm. And if you have, say for example, 10 hectares, you have to dedicate 1 hectare for the bandits before they could allow you, to enjoy the rest. So all this should stop. Security is very key. Lives and property, and that is the essence of governance. And I'm happy that Badaru and Matawale read the Riot Act to these security chiefs, and I want to believe that all of us should have all our hands on the deck to ensure that we reduce this to the barest minimum, or even eliminate it.
So again, we can't afford to lose more people?
Yes, we cannot afford to lose more people. I like their optimism. But AY, I'm not hearing this for the first time. Let me take you back.
Soundbite.
On the 13th of August, 2015, when President Buhari was swearing in the new service chief, CDS, who was, I think, General Alon Shakin then, Chief of Army Staff, General Buratai, and the rest of them, he gave them a mandate of 3 months to wipe out insurgents. We are students of it. People don't read. That's the reason. Go and check it. I'm giving the exact date. On the 13th of August, 2015, President Buhari, a retired general, while inaugurating, while decorating the service chief, gave them 3 months to wipe out insurgents. And everybody was hailing, oh, this and that. What happened? Some of them stayed there for more than 7 years. Did they deliver? So for me, it's not just making the historics. You can say anything, but it goes beyond that. I totally agree with MJ that they should be given a mandate. Not just only them, all the ministers. I've said it time without number that there should be a marking scheme for these ministers. If you're going to an examination, there's going to be a marking scheme. The minimum standard could be in the university. MJ, in the university we have we have base. If you didn't get up to C or whatever, you will repeat that paper.
As a matter, if your CGPA
is up 1, you must
advised to withdraw.
We are advised to withdraw. The same thing. First and foremost, we are employing these guys. We are employing them. When I mean we are employing, even the president, Nigerians have employed the president to work. We are paying his salary, so he is accountable to us. It's not this part of the world that the president or everybody is the governor is this thing. No, it's not that way. Now, let me give you 1 or 2 fundamental. Yes, based on what they said, let's ask ourselves this question. Is this decision based on empirical data or just emotive consideration and analysis? That is 1. 2, have the ministers conducted strategic estimates or audit of the entire kinetic, non-kinetic operations that led to this deadline? Because before you give a deadline, there must be a benchmark.
Sure.
That is what I'm saying. Now, 3, have the service chiefs provided operational briefings to the ministers before setting the deadline? Then let me ask the last question. Have they considered that the military line operation is just 30% of the entire whole of government approach to conducting counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism war? What I'm saying in essence is that it is not just, these guys are politicians. They are not on the field. In fact, if a retired general, as a minister of defense, is saying that, give you that kind of list, I would say that, okay, he has an idea of maybe what he's talking about. It goes just beyond that. Because you can only start a war. You don't know how to. Let me give you another classic example. MJ, when Russia was going into Ukraine, Russia thought that
it thought it would be over in a week.
Within 1 week.
Yeah.
That it would be good. Don't forget that they've taken Crimea, they've taken Donetsk and the rest of. So Putin just felt that I'll just go into this run over this thing. It's over 1 year.
We've been there for 18 months now.
I say it's over 1 year. In fact, Russia has suffered so many losses that if not that, it just look as a disgrace. Putin, if he has his way today, he withdraw from Ukraine. So that is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying in essence is that let the ministers calm down. I will expect them to meet with the service chiefs, let them brief them. There are issues that we are saying that it's just like you come in and say, oh, it's a setting deadline. Because you know the problem with setting deadline. If you don't meet it, it becomes a problem. Because your words, people hold you to your words. Those deadlines, even if you go to set a deadline, I believe it's not to tell us civilians. You should tell that to the service chief. Meet them one-on-one. I say, guys, this is the mandate that the president has given. Within 1 year, this thing. And nobody goes to war and start coming to tell the other party what it's going to do. You don't see the American government or military or the British saying that, no, within 1 year we're going to wipe. No, that is not. I like the way they approach. I like the way they're going about it. But please, let us just calm down. This is a war that is not a conventional war. It is a conventional war. We went to Liberia. We saw what we did now. We went to Sierra Leone. Didn't we wipe them out? And also, has it taken into consideration, which is why we're also saying, don't go to war in Niger. Because if there is a shot, tomorrow, ECOWAS going into Niger is going to activate and also promote insurgency from that part of it. We have a borderline of 1,600 kilometers between Nigeria and Niger with 7 states across board. Any level of insurgency in that place or war, we also bring in that. So he cannot even control what you're going. So I like the enthusiasm, I like what they're bringing to the table, but I think they should be able to sit down first with the service chiefs and discuss issues. They also have their own strategic way of wanting. You are saying 1 year. Suppose the service says that within 6 months we can do it.
Yeah, you know, the ministers too are also, incidentally, the two of them, both the Minister of Defense and the Minister of States, they are former chief security officers in their states as governors. So they have access to some level of information. So I want to believe they know what they are talking about.
The Minister of State was the governor of Zamfara State.
Zamfara.
And it was during his time that the peak of banditry.
Yeah,
No, are we not aware?
Yes.
So if you say it's chief security officer, just you have to be,
yes,
you have to look at the antecedents.
You see, it needs to show that yes, it's on top of his game. I mean, there are some low-hanging fruits that they can pluck. I mean, he needs to give a charge. He's telling them what the president told him. So the president wants an end to banditry and all this whatnot. So I think the onus is on them to read that charge. They are not speaking for themselves, they are speaking for the president. And that's what the president wants. I think the president also gave the same charge to the service chiefs when he told them that he didn't want interagency brouhahas. Yes. So, and that there must be a strategic cohesion amongst all the different agencies, security agencies. So I want to see a harmony in the way the security operatives work going forward so that collectively we can fight insurgency and bring it down to
Some people have suggested political solutions to some of the problems we have, especially the one we have in the southeast. Yeah. Insecurity around the southeast, that it doesn't have to do with military alone, that leaders of thought and government must sit down and talk about even the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
I agree with you. But now they have brought up the issue of political will. The political will starts with government doing the right thing. AY some time ago, we were told that about 400 financiers of terrorism have been known to the federal government. And they were going to be picked up, arrested, and prosecuted.
Right.
Was that not the last year?
And even their names published.
Their names published. And their names are going to be published. Have you seen any name?
Some alarm did not do that.
That is it. The same thing, within that same period, in Dubai, in UAE, about 7 people were picked up for sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Within 1 week, they were tried. They are in jail. Now, take it further. All those that have been arrested for terrorist acts, for banditry, how many of them have you seen taken to the court and prosecuted? That I'm talking of political will now, because you are the one that raised political will. I'm talking of political will. This has nothing to do. The military have arrested them. The soldiers have arrested them. The SSS, DSS, they have done their job. The military, Nigeria's military is one of the best in the world. Nigerian army. I am telling you.
In terms of discipline and even
you need to. AY, I have
willpower.
I have interacted with, especially those in the army. Fantastic guys. Fantastic guys. These are guys that train with the best. Before you become a general in Nigeria, army general, there's a place they used to take you in America. One American military, whatever. And they meet with other generals from all over the world. And when you go there and come back, they come out best. Even our police people. So what I'm saying now, talking about political will, if the president will have the political will to be able to do decisively, because the problem we had was that in the past, the former president dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Most of these guys were arrested, were not prosecuted. And for that emboldened them to go into and some of the military guys are not happy with that. How come that the people we've arrested that have done this, instead we're giving them amnesty?
CK, and I think
those are the issues I believe. Then the Southeast. Of course, it's also political will. It can be dealt with. Good enough, IPOD is coming out now condemning what is going on. Nnamdi Kanu has come out to say, no more sit at home on Mondays. Anybody that you see trying to do that, then anything. So he has given a flat order to the security agents that anybody you see doing that, They should be arrested and dealt with. And
I read one funny news last week about people, Boko Haram repentant guys that were given amnesty. They were fighting for their allowance and they protested. They took to the streets in protest. So people are even calling for rehabilitation and amnesty for repentant Boko Haram guys.
So the thing is, under Tinubu and with Latif Fagbemi, SAN, as the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, I want to believe that it's going to be a different ball game. Look at the arraignment of or the charge against Desani. For 8 years under Buhari, we are playing games. Now, with the £100,000 bribery case against Desiani Alice Madueke, may God help her. So it's like it's a new thing that you can't just go scot-free. You see, and that goes to show that if you are found sponsoring terrorism, it won't be business as usual. You'll be prosecuted and brought to book. And the consequences will be grave on the businesses and the finances of such individuals. So I think by the time we start to cut the source of funding, the pipe that funnels these terrorists, I think, they'll start, their activities will be decimated. And it will assist our guys who have been struggling and working day and night to get rid of these bandits and terrorists.
Okay, we have to leave it there. Before we go, one of our own, Sir Richard Akinola, is 65 today. Uncle Richie.
Richie.
That's 65.
Let me just quickly say this. One of the mentors I have in the industry is Uncle Richard Akinola. So it's one of those that encouraged me to go back and read law. Himself and Ebun Adegburuwa. Because when I was incarcerated,
yes,
you remember, at Ikoyi prison, for stories that I wrote as a journalist, they were part of the people, 2 of them, that stood behind me. In fact, they were the people that got me out of this thing. And they encouraged me to say, CKN, go and read law to be a better. So today I finished reading law and I seen them. So, Egbon Richie, wherever you are today.
Egbon Richie.
Happy birthday to Egbon Richie. And one thing I love most about him, we were talking behind the scene before we came here. About is the kind of energy he carries, and also his knickers.
That knicker.
There are some people, as Ben Garuleva said, he's going to post his short coat and short knickers.
It's only to the court that he doesn't wear short knickers.
Yeah. So happy birthday to
congratulations, Egbon
Richard Akinola at 65.
65.
Looking like a 40-year-old.
I want to look like that when I'm 65.
All right. And CKN, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
We wished you were yesterday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And that's it on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. 2 hours of exciting programming. And we are on YouTube, youtube.com/tvcnews.nigeria. And I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.